So people always want to know what's it like owning, I don't know, a bunch of old British cars. Well, this is a daily occurrence sometimes. Waiting on information. Another 0442, probably a gas cap. All right, that's not really the end of the world, but that's not what this video is about today. We're going to focus on the car that key belongs to. But no good deed goes unpunished. We're going to talk about this. So this was one of the first cars that I really kind of did a major feature on the channel. This is a 2002 Range Rover P38 Westminster Edition. And it is one of the best looking Rovers that I think I featured on the channel. Probably one of the more asked about Rovers as well. It's black on black with these great black, I think they're Lucky 8 wheels. Everyone asks me the tire size, 265/70 R17. This truck is been converted from EAS to coils. It's got 125,000 miles on it. It is reportedly, the guy that I bought it from had the head gaskets done around 100,000 miles. I don't have the records, but I trusted him. He really stayed on top of most of the maintenance. Probably a 5-owner truck. You know, it kind of changed hands a few times. But we did a decent job kind of cleaning it up and getting it to where it needed to be. And now the current owner wants to sell it. So, you know, without further ado, let's jump into it. So right off the bat, let's talk about looks. I wouldn't say I'm a P38 expert, but from what I know about it, it features a 4.6 variation of the Rover V8. The Westminster also has a few different type of, has a more flush bumper. It has soft leather seats. It's got this weird kind of piano black dash trim as well, and wood grain, if you want to call it that. But it's a very nice interior, very comfortable seats. It's you know, it doesn't look as dated, I think, as some other versions of this do. This one has a few quirks, obviously, but to really break it down, it runs and drives great. I don't show any dash lights or anything like that. It's been mechanically maintained. There's no rust. Let's check out underneath. Pretty clean. She did take it off-roading a couple times, as you do with a truck like this, which is, you know, that's fine. That's what it's made for. But, you know, this specific truck is, to me, more of a pretty truck. I mean, look at it. Great condition, great tires, great color. For those who are interested in the truck, you know, the paint isn't perfect. There's a couple, you know, bird spots. It could use some more of a buffing. I think I buffed it out about 10 months ago or something like that when we were making the video, and you can kind of see in this off light there's a couple dents and imperfections here and there, but you know, overall it's in good condition. But yeah, going back to the P38s, I mean, I think, you know, the consensus of these is they have now eclipsed their previous value factors. So the value of these things is going up. People are realizing that they're not as scary as they are made out to be. I still think they're one of the more scary platforms, but that's to most people who don't deal with them every day. If you are familiar with Land Rover, Range Rovers, you're familiar with this model of trucks, then you're going to be the one in the comments saying, oh, it's not a big deal, this, that. You know, but if you're okay with living with some problems and some quirks, and you understand what you're getting into, this is a very usable truck. It drives down the highway at 80 miles an hour with no issues. It's got keyless entry, leather seats, heated seats. The AC even works in this one. I'm pretty sure it still has some blend door issues. Sometimes it comes out of the top, sometimes it comes out of the front. It needs the HVAC screen. The little connectors need to be clean. You know, it kind of shows some mixed messages, but that's a fairly easy fix. But if you want a good platform to either start a build or to restore, most guys might think about bringing it back to air suspension, blah, blah, blah. That wouldn't be what I would do. But, you know, I think with a smaller amount of money, you could definitely make this particular truck kind of double in value. Since it is a Westminster, it is the right color combination, it is low miles, and, you know, it does have the look. So let's jump in and take it for a ride. So I left the keys in it, but, you know, leather's in good condition. Shut up. Lots of beeps and bongs. Very in line with how these P38s do their thing. I guess that was more of a fancier feature. I like lots of beeps and bongs. If you saw in my other videos, you would know that it needs a speaker amp for the sound system. I have got it to work, but the fuse blew a couple times and the amps are pretty much unobtainium, so I couldn't find them anyway. So, you know, this is a Bluetooth speaker truck at this point, unless you want to dive into it. So that's what I was saying about the screen. Definitely needs to be clean, but it's functional, it works. The AC does work, the heat does work, the windows do work. This would probably need to be swapped out to make it a you know, match the piano black trim, but it's all there, you know, and that's if you've got some of these parts lying around, you could easily fix some of these what I consider smaller issues fairly easily. The headliner has been replaced, though non-professionally. I think the previous owner did it. It could use a bit of a cleaning, but the leather's not ripped or torn. Everything's in place. It has the Rover mats, blah, blah, blah. There's the dash light. ABS light goes off when we'll start driving here. And that's just the e-brake light. So let's take it for a little spin. All right. So P38, I've made a couple of these videos kind of talking about the driving dynamics and whatnot about it. Just like the Disco 2 that we just drove, the 2004, that was on Bring a Trailer, you know, this one drives very similar. It feels a little wider. You know, the brake pedal has a slightly different feel, but the way it puts power down and the way the steering feel is to me very comparable. But you know, I do like the seating position better. I do like the steering wheel configuration better, and I do like the view out of the driver's seat a little better as well. Also, the steering wheel controls and whatnot are a little ergonomically friendly for my height and whatnot. I think the seat's a little more comfortable, but as you're looking out over the windscreen, you know, the squared off front is very reminiscent of the Classic, which is obviously the model that it replaced. But, you know, you don't really, you know, even though you get it from the exterior, when you're inside, you obviously, you can understand the design progression there. A little bit of power. Again, really smooth, pretty refined. But, you know, without the air suspension, it still rides great. I don't have any complaints about the ride comfort of this truck. Give it a downshift. Not very quick, but its power is adequate and smooth. But again, still no dash lights, you know. We fixed a few fuse issues and airbag sensors and whatnot that were kind of sending this thing a little bit wild. I think, you know, once they're semi-sorted, it does make it a little bit better. But it's working, you know. AC's blowing. It's functioning here. Yeah, no, it's again, it's a smooth truck. No pulsing from the brakes or anything. You know, it all seems very normal. I think another point to mention with this truck, as I've probably said it before, or at least hinted at it, is this truck looks good. This truck's cool. It's black on black on black. It's got the clear glass headlight. I think I was watching the Michael Jordan documentary, and I think he had one. I do remember the 95 blacked out Classic he had, but I think there's a P38 mixed in there as well. And this thing definitely has presence going down the road, and people, they definitely don't not say anything in the parking lot or at the coffee shop. The car gets a lot of compliments, and it gets a lot of attention from all types of people. Everyone's got a Rover story, and I think, you know, and the P38 is now a part of that story. People recognize it. They understand that it's a Rover. They understand that it looks good. They like the boxy shape, and it definitely is appealing to more people as time goes on than it really ever did. You know, even at the shop, we've got people bringing in, like, I mean, almost mechanically total P38s and spending serious money to get them redone just because they've had it for a while, has a nostalgic factor, and they just want to get it up and running again when these trucks just used to be just total scrappers. So, you know, it's everything goes in phases, and I think the P38 is in a very good phase of its timeline, and I think this one captures it perfectly. Here's a little speed bump, a little suspension test. Fine, perfect. But yeah, I mean, again, I think it's a Range Rover Classic that you can pretty much drive every day as a normal car. And I know there's a lot of guys that'll say, oh, I drive my Range Rover Classic every day like a normal car. Well, you know, good for you. But it's this is a little less painful. You know, it's a little less, there's slightly less worry in this. You know, it is newer, and there's something to be said about that. Slightly better technology and everything else. I'm just gonna spin it through here. Oh wow, looks like people have been dumping stuff. Buddy, I was gonna swing through there and check out the 4 low, and I think I'll still do it, but I'll take a different route in. Oh, Brody! No, not really. Just a little bit of gravel. All right. Pop it in here, throw it in neutral. Now, it's a little awkward to get it. There you go. And now we are in. All right, see, we're in low. It says it over there. Now we're in drive low. And yeah, easy, perfect. That's only the second time I've ever put it in low, but not a big deal. It was easy, and it says it on your drive screen. You know, and now you're ready to go off-roading. It's that simple and nice. Now I want to pop it back out. Actually, let's jump out. Man, I really can't stop looking at this thing. Tell me this isn't a good-looking truck. You could probably show up anywhere with this and blend in, even though it's a little bit rough. It sounds good too. Listen, got that V8 boat sound. But, well, I think that's it for this video, honestly. The P38 is going to be for sale. I think I put it up on Facebook Marketplace. The owner wants around $10,500 for it. I think that's a very reasonable price in this Rover market for this truck. And if you're interested, drop me a comment or DM, or jump onto my Instagram, Addicted Motors, and we can chat from there. My email is also in on the channel. So again, if you're interested in this truck, or you've got some comments on a P38, or want to check out some of the other videos of my channel, just subscribe and check it out. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks, guys.